Hi, it's Karen again. Um, I was gonna make a different type of video today. It's kind of like the personal training side of my life, and showing respect to people. I find that personal trainers, at least in my case, I get the least amount of respect in terms of people being late, not showing up, things of that nature. I mean, everybody has a cell phone glued to the palm of their hand these days. It's not that hard to type in a text message or make a phone call. you know, we have other jobs, we have lives, and I will literally rearrange my schedule if I can to train somebody to help fit them in. And when they have complete lack of respect and just don't show up or don't let me know even that they're going to be late, it gets really frustrating. Um, there was this one girl I was training at 6 in the morning, and this was after I got my cold in 2021. And it was hard to get to the gym because I wasn't sleeping. I was fatigued all the time. It was so difficult. But I did. I get to that gym. I was always on time. Never once was I late. I show up at that gym, and she's always 10, 15 minutes late. She's the one that wanted to train at, 6 o'clock. Um, and, taking me about an hour to get ready. That's to get ready and to make the drive there to be there at, 6 o'clock. But doing that, it was still kind of rough. I was barely awake. I was not even functioning too well, so I thought I'd get up 30 minutes early. So I'm getting up at 4:30 to at least come to, so I can start getting ready and be there on time. So I'm getting up at 4:30 for this girl who just strolls in. About usually the latest about 15 minutes late. And I'm a full service trainer. You know, it takes away from my schedule. I'm gonna give her a full hour, but then it just puts me behind, and technically I should cut it off, at 7 o'clock, but I don't. But this is a small area. I get to be friends with these people, and it's hard to do that when you kind of friends with them. So I sucked it up. This is about 3 years this went on, but I guess there were some issues at the gym, and she kind of moved on to a different gym. And there was another girl. She wanted me to train her at 5:30 because she had to be at her job, and I was like, I just can't do that. I was still dealing with this cold that was still in my system, and just things were really difficult. To get to the gym at 7 or 8 was hard at that time, but I told her I just couldn't do that time, so we agreed on 6. She said she could do 6 o'clock, and I said okay. So I think I was training her 3 times a week. 6 o'clock. She was late every time, like 10, 15 minutes late. And then sometimes I would see her in the gym on off days. I wasn't training her, and she'd tell me how she was at the gym at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning, and I just looked at her. And she's like, I know. She knew exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you could be here at 5:30 in the morning anytime, but the days that I train you, you can barely pull yourself in at 6:15. I mean, that's just a little disrespectful, at least in my book. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, if I have to meet somebody, I'm there on time. I'm early. If I'm running late, you're going to know. If I'm going to be a minute late, you're going to know. And that's another thing with these clients. I'm there on time, and I mean, I'm usually waiting because I was taught to be 5-10 minutes early. A couple of times when I'm running against the clock doing other things, never was I late. Get there right on the number, and even so, I'd still get a text message. Where are you? Are we training? And you didn't even give me time to get there. It's not even time yet, but you're 15 minutes late all the time. Can someone explain this? Can someone explain this to me in the comments? Because I don't get it. There was another girl, and I was training her. It was for a few weeks, and I had another appointment, and she knew her father was coming into town, and she never told me. She just decided not to show up. And I know this is a girl that her cell phone is glued to her hand. It never leaves. And she couldn't call, she couldn't text, not a thing. And I was to the done point with her. I didn't get to the point I don't care anymore. So I just went on home. Um, but she was at a part-time job with me at a different job, and she mentioned, I think it's like 5 days later, she mentioned, oh, my dad was in town, I didn't want to miss. And because he was leaving in a few days. And I was like, well, how long did you know? And she told me, and I was like, you could have let me know something. I said I could have done this, I could have done that, because I actually turned down the client because for just one training, just to show him around the gym, because I had her at that time. And, had I known, I could have rearranged my schedule. So, you know, personal trainers have lives too. I mean, we have. I'm one that juggles my schedule. I didn't make a living. I didn't make a living personal training, and most of us don't. Very few can do that. The ones in the big cities that are high level. Yeah, that's because they're charging $180 a session. This is a small town. I have 1980 prices. They just can't afford that around here. So I don't mind. I make do. I do enjoy training people. But if your trainer has respect for you and your time, have respect for your trainer and their time. That's all I'm saying. And that's just for anybody. It takes very little effort to show respect. It takes very little effort to pick up that phone and send a text or a phone call. And I would appreciate that so much more than just ignoring the fact that you're not going to be there and just ignoring me. That's just more frustrating. It's just so disrespectful. So, I guess you'd call this a rant today. Not so much. I don't know. It's just a frustration point. It's just another day in my life. Things I have to deal with. In addition with this illness I have to deal with. Juggling other people's lives and trying to figure out why they do what they do and why they have so little respect for anybody else's time. So, I mean, if you know, let me know. Put it in the comments, because I can't figure it out. I'm not going to change. I'm going to continue communicating with people. If I can't make it, I'm going to let you know. If I'm going to be late, I'm going to let you know. That's just how I was taught. So, things are good today. Had a rough day. Didn't feel so great starting off. Obviously, I'm kind of making this kind of video. Some days aren't so great. But they're not nearly as bad as they used to be, and I hope they continue getting better. I am still pushing through this illness, and I'm working on it all the time. So I'm going to leave it at this, and that I'm doing my best, and things are getting better. Thank you for tuning in again.